doctors, 3 of them play drums. 2 try to give advice when you only need 1. But when you want someone to pick you up from school, 5 dads in the pickup line and some grounds for ridicule. She's got too many dads, and they're all quite competitive. Too many dads, but they'll never admit it. Too many dads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many dads is too many dads?
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Saturday, June 10th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, I got a few dads. Got Taz Mellis.
Saturday dad problems today, I'll tell you that.
And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer, super dad, JD.
Hello.
There he is. And here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live here on the weekend on YouTube. We love to see it. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I saw some people here in the stream team saying, this is the first time I've ever seen you guys live on YouTube. I'm usually driving to work like a dad. So we appreciate it for swinging by. Make sure you subscribe. Go get your No Dunks merch as well over at nodunks.com. Your t-shirts, your hoodies, your mugs, and your hats. Okay, we got lots to talk about. Some NBA news. We had a weird trade that went down yesterday. But we are here to break down Game 4 of the NBA Finals. The Nuggets 1 win away, Tass, from the franchise's first NBA championship after the 108-95 win against the Heat in Game 4 of the Finals last night. We had a blast on playback. Balanced team effort here from the Nuggets, but good Gord, Aaron Gordon, leading the way with 27 points. He's sort of the main story from this one. But what'd you think?
Yeah, the supporting cast is 100% the story. He did a pretty good job, I thought, of pestering Jamal Murray, just being in his face. Thought Gabe Vincent did a pretty good job of that. They figured it, if we cut off the head of the snake, that we can win this game. They did a damn good job. Murray was not in his rhythm all night. His worst shooting night of the NBA Finals, by far, 5 of 17. Jokic didn't really have his flow either. He banged home a few threes, for sure, but his worst shooting night of the NBA Finals. He even got an own goal credited to him, too,
Right.
When the Heat banged one home for him. They needed the supporting cast to step up. And they did it, even with Jokic on the bench in the final few minutes. And we'll get to that, but Aaron Gordon was just damn phenomenal.
Amazing.
He didn't hit a basket until the second quarter. And from the second to the fourth quarter, he was 11 of 13, just capitalizing on all the attention on Murray especially. He was doing a lot of the creeping on the baseline, you know, like a teenager scared of his dad, creeping in at 4 a.m, just on the baseline. And then, boom, they found him over and over and over again. And I said Jokic on the bench in the fourth quarter with 5 fouls from the 9-minute mark to about the 4-minute mark. Huge buckets from Aaron Gordon. Jamal Murray found him when the Heat shrunk the lead to 6 points. Gordon found underneath and he scored over Caleb Martin. He was just using his size. Michael Malone said he put his hard hat on. That's exactly what he did. I didn't know when he came over from Orlando 2 years ago if he could be this type of player, if he could be just this, not like an anti-finesse type of guy. Like, he wanted to be a star. He made a rap song about Dwayne Wade screwing him over in the dunk contest. And then all of a sudden he becomes this guy who just capitalized on the size advantage and just being a bully, and was a monster.
Yeah.
He hit 3 threes. His 4th three was at the end of a shot clock, too. So the miss, I should say, was at the end of a shot clock. So just got scorching hot. And then Bruce Brown, he gets, Aaron Gordon, the storyline, but Bruce Brown's kind of overlooked here. Huge fourth quarter points.
Huge.
He had the most points of any Nugget in the fourth quarter with 11 points. 4 makes in the last 6 minutes of this game. Again, when I said Jokic, those minutes, 5+ minutes, those are usually when the Nuggets lose this game or lose their lead.
The lead, but they lost it by 1 point.
Yeah.
I think, they were up 10, the Nuggets were, when he went out, and when he came back, they were up 9.
Yeah, 9:41 to 4:09, 5.5 minutes. No problem, because of guys like Aaron Gordon and Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown's a guy coming off the bench making $6 million and has just fit in so well. 8 of 11 from the field, 21 points. He had 21 points in this game. huge supporting cast production, for sure.
Aaron Gordon, career playoff high with 27 points. He's played in nearly 40 playoff games, so pretty impressive to do that in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
He banged home the 3 threes, like you said. He had 3 lobs that he finished, some of them dunks. That one that Jokic threw to him, he just like flipped it over his head, showing off the athleticism. 7 boards, 6 assists as well. We talked about Aaron Gordon after Game 3, how impressed we were with his game. He didn't fill up the box score, but he was contributing across the board. He is doing an incredible either Iguodala or Wiggins impersonation here. That's what he's gone on. Sort of when you look at his career even, as those guys were like the lead guys on their teams, that didn't have a lot of success. Oh, can they be a number one? Well, maybe not. And then, of course, both of those guys make their way to the Warriors, where you're playing with like superstars. You fall into your role, play defense, contribute across the board, and that's what I think AG is doing here. He was a plus 29 last night. Statitudes pointed out, highest such figure in a finals game in 5 years. You had to go back to Kevin Durant, who was a plus 30 in the 2018 finals. Amazing. And AG's regularly guarding the opponent's best offensive player, as he has throughout the postseason here. And according to ESPN Stats and Info, opponents have shot under 40% from the field and under 28% from 3 when Aaron Gordon is the primary defender in these 19 playoff games. So he has been phenomenal. And yeah, they needed that last night. They needed Bruce Brown and his 21 points in the fourth quarter, because the Heat took away Jamal Murray, at least the scoring aspect, so he was doing a great job of playmaking, and I know we'll get to that. And then Jokic with the ankle injury there and the foul trouble. I mean, the finals ended last night in that 5-minute stretch, right? It was there for the Heat to tie this series up 2-2, to possibly even win the whole thing. But I don't think many people out there think they're coming back like the 2016 Cavs from a 3-1 deficit, and maybe not even coming back to Miami for Game 6.
Doesn't feel that way.
No.
This would be a rare feat. The Nuggets haven't faced an elimination game so far in the postseason. That doesn't happen very often for a champ to not face an elimination game. It happens very, very infrequently. Last team to do that, a Warriors team, a Kevin Durant Warriors team, 2017. And then the team before that, the 99 Spurs.
Holy
champs
crap.
that don't face an elimination game, thanks to Adam Reisinger for that stat.
That's amazing.
But yeah, in the last 25 years, just 2 teams, and the Nuggets could be the third. And it sure feels that way because Michael Malone had so much faith in his supporting cast. Because that was scary times, I think, earlier in the season for the Nuggets, the non-Jokic minutes, but they found their way, especially against this Heat team that can't make them pay with size. So they say, all right, Jokic to the bench. We're not bringing Thomas Bryant in for you. We're not bringing DeAndre Jordan in for you. We're just sticking to what we do best. And Aaron Gordon basically as the center, Jeff Green sort of as a center. Jeff Green hit a huge 3 in that stretch. Yeah, to lose that 5.5 minutes by 1 point.
That was it.
That was definitely the game. And yeah, a huge amount of faith going into that team. It was sort of Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon pick and roll time, and they just found it from there. You said Murray, 12 assists, 0 turnovers.
Huge.
That doesn't happen very often in the NBA either. And it's did he get some of those, hey, I'm throwing it out to the 3-point line, and the guy bangs it home and he gets an assist? Yeah, of course. Jokic with that 29-footer, that one that was way deep. We saw the 29-foot little caption or whatever you want to call it on the floor come up on ABC as he banged home that 3. Did Murray deserve an assist for that? Nah. But whatever. He's had double-digit assists in all 4 finals games.
I know. And he's not really, I don't even look at him as the point guard on this team.
Right.
But he's doing an incredible job. He's like, I know he finishes 5 of 17. He missed some shots that he usually makes, and the Heat do try and take it away. They've trapped him a lot more, blitzed him as we talked about in Game 3 we saw. But even then, he was still just making the right play. Like he for a guy that can hit incredible tough shots, he really didn't force a lot last night.
That's true.
He's like, all right, they're taking me out of the play. That's their game plan. Let's make the simple pass and let these other guys, step up. So that's how you get to 12 assists. And some of them of the variety where you just kick it to a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And they knock it down. But still, the plan was to sort of slow him, as it should have been. I mean, I agree with that Spo's thinking here. But these other guys stepped up, especially Aaron Gordon.
You're right. That's what Spo wanted. And he said, anybody else can beat us. And then the stats bear out that they did.
Yeah.
The Nuggets shot 12 for 19 off passes from Jamal Murray. That's a damn good percentage. So when they shot the ball immediately, 12 of 19, including 7 of 11 on threes. Yeah, the Nuggets collapsed, and boom, boom, boom. 4 straight 10-assist games. Only Magic Johnson has a longer streak in finals history, and he was doing it to everybody. 4 to Jokic, 3 to Gordon, that one that was really key there midway through the fourth, a couple to Porter, a couple to Brown, and 1 to Jeff Green. Also in that stretch at the end.
Yeah, that's right, because Denver goes into the fourth quarter up 13. I think Aaron Gordon had finished the third quarter with a 3 in the corner. So they're up 13. It's like, okay, Miami has to come out to start this quarter or this thing is a wrap. They do. They play with some desperation. They scored the first 8 points. Suddenly we have a game. Then Jokic picks up the, questionable 5th foul, which we would be going nuts about here this morning if the Heat go on to win this, right? Yeah. The Bam flop, which he did. He sold the hell out of it.
Of course he did.
But Jokic has 5 fouls. He goes to the bench, like you said, about 9:30 left or so. And then, suddenly it is a 5-point game. Jimmy had that and 1 inside, and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then, Jamal Murray hits a big 3, silences the crowd. Then he finds Aaron Gordon on that funny little lob pass inside. AG just too big. He had a pump fake party in there.
Yep.
He scored. And then off the Murray pass, Jeff Green bangs home a huge corner 3, pushes the lead back to 11, a little more breathing room. And then KCP playing great defense sort of near the end of that little stretch, sort of locked up on successive possessions, Jimmy and Bam. So he contributed on the defensive end. And after it was all said and done, it was like, here comes Jokic, and it's like they didn't really cut into the lead all that much. And once he came back, then it was like, okay, good night. I mean, that was it. That was the finals right there for the Heat, in my opinion.
Yeah, and so people were panicking at that 9:40 mark where Michael Malone decides not to challenge that flop.
Right.
Jokic's 5th foul. But it's one of those scenarios where there was contact, and so it's difficult. It would be really, really difficult for the referee to overturn that.
I don't think they would have overturned it. I think he played it wisely.
Yeah.
He obviously had faith in his team. We kept wondering on playback, when does he bring him back?
Yeah.
Especially when it got to 5, and it was like, whoa, oh man, there was some momentum going there for Jimmy and the Heat, and he just wrote it out. These guys hit 3, so it makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Right?
Half of the fourth quarter, he's got his best player on the bench just sitting there, and I thought he would have just the faith in Jokic, because why wouldn't you have the faith in Jokic not to foul? And because in the Lakers series, when LeBron got 2 fouls, drew 2 fouls on Jokic to give him his 5th foul about midway through the fourth, they allowed Jokic to just ride it out on the floor. And Jokic wasn't playing as hard defensively not to get that 6th, but they just wanted him out there, wanted his presence out there on the offensive end. Incredible stuff. They just had the confidence in Murray's passing ability, just doing a great job, not turning it over. He really, really played within himself. So even though it was a 5 of 17 line, a bad shooting night, really, a lot in and out. He just had a masterful, floor general type game.
Yeah, the Heat have tried almost every coverage to stop this squad. I mean, the Denver Nuggets are just a clearly better team because, like I said, they've trapped pick and rolls. They've played drop coverage at times. They've obviously played some zone. They've switched. They have Butler and Bam. I don't want us to forget this. 2 of the league's best defenders at their positions. At the guard/wing position with Jimmy, obviously Bam is a center. Those 2 guys are on the Nuggets' best players. They're locked in on Murray and Jokic. There's no hiding, Jimmy on someone else. The same for the offensive end. Bam obviously going to be matched up against Jokic because he's the biggest guy they have. And none of these things I just listed have really worked for more than a handful of possessions in a row. Mm-hmm. So, and that just just goes to the credit to these 2 guys, the levels they're operating at right now, the way they're seeing the floor, their basketball IQ, everybody helping out. I mean, Malone obviously for putting them in the right spots, because Spo's tried it. They've tried a lot of things here, and they got hot from 3 for that one game in game 2, and maybe that's what it comes down to. They just need 3 light out games here from deep to give them a chance, because this was another game where they sucked when it came to shooting the 3. 8 of 25. 8 bad, 25 3-point attempts bad too, as the Nuggets try and take that away from them. Yeah,
they did a good job doing that. We saw Jokic and Murray hot enough in game 3 to steal it with those incredible lines, the 30-point triple-doubles, and then just able to just pass off to these other guys to do the job in this one. Just incredible acquisitions by Tim Connolly, who's now in Minnesota and has a piece of that team. Kind of weird that they could win a championship here. The guy who built the team just left before this season. He made some incredible acquisitions to get Aaron Gordon on the squad. It is an Andre Iguodala type acquisition, and this team has been built to win. And here they are beating Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, who I liked. What Spoelstra did, played them more minutes. This was a must-win game. Played them nearly 45 for both of them, and matched up. Bam, as you said, has to be the guy guarding Jokic. Matched up those minutes a little bit differently in this one. Smart, but they just couldn't get enough offensively in the end. Jimmy, as incredible as he is, he hasn't had a takeover game here in the finals. The Nuggets, number one, their length is bothersome. Jokic being around all the time because they're playing drop coverage is bothersome, and it's just hard to do to be a takeover guy series after series after series.
He's played a lot of minutes here in this postseason. I believe he's the leader in postseason minutes. Yeah,
it's hard to quantify how much it's worn him down, but it's had to worn him down. He was limping off the floor in that conference finals. They played 7 games. And I think it does play a factor. We're seeing
and Aaron
one game.
Gordon on him too. Let's not gloss over it. He's a big ass dude.
They're looking.
He bullied other guys. Jimmy did in these other series.
Yeah. No, there's. I know he hunts Jamal Murray and he hunts KCP. Yeah. But even those guys. Jamal Murray came into this series. I was there watching him in the pregame press conference before this series, and he was basically he kind of called out Jimmy Butler in a way, saying he's gonna throw his body around, he's gonna flop around and try and get calls. He was up for the task, and he's there physically. He had LeBron going at him last round in the conference finals. As they got the switches to get Jamal Murray going, so he's taken some pride in this, and it's hard for Butler to find a great matchup in this series. He was decent in this game, but in the fourth he couldn't really get it going. So 25 for him. He had that spurt at the end of the first quarter that looked good, but he hasn't had a 30-point game in a while since game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And you got to figure the matchup length is just a problem everywhere. There's length everywhere on this frickin' team. And and just a lot of minutes, as you said.
15 turnovers didn't help Miami Heat last night either. Led to 17 Nugget points, which, look, they had that awesome Game 3 where they never turned the ball over and still lost. And then they have 10 plus more than they did in Game 3. That's going to hurt. And they just can't shoot at home. They shot 45% last night from the field, 8 of 25 from 3, like I said. And the starting backcourt, Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, another brutal game. 1 for 10. These two guys combined. No three-pointers from them. Max Strus is shooting 16% here in the finals. And I saw a Fast Break Breakfast tweet last night that Max Strus, Tass, has scored in 2 quarters in this series. 2 quarters. We are now through Game 4 here. He's played a lot. He's played in every quarter, I think. That's rough. This is a starter on your team who's obviously contributed throughout the postseason and regular season, and he can't score. And a lot of these guys are just struggling.
Yeah, he had that hot quarter where he hit 4 threes. But starting backcourt giving you 2 points. It's rough. Lowry came in and was pretty damn good.
Did some Lowry things for sure.
Yeah, he did as much as he possibly could. He contributed. Duncan Robinson also 12 points. Caleb Martin 11 points off the bench. Pretty good bench production when you look at it that way, but not enough starter production. Even Kevin Love had a spurt. He scored 9 straight? That's all you can ask of Kevin Love. It would have been nice to get a little bit more backcourt help, for sure, from those 2 guys. Gabe started this series strong. Both those guys trying to get paid this offseason, Vincent and Strus. But it was, they've kind of lost it. They've just lost it a little bit.
Is there any way we see Tyler Hero on Monday? Or no at this point?
Throw it out there, huh?
What do you have to lose?
Yeah. The finals. But yes.
You're going to lose the finals.
No, I know. I hear what you're saying. It's just so weird. Again, my untrained eye was there watching him. He looked good pregame. He looked good going against Omer Yurtseven and the backup Miami Heat assistant coaches and the backups of the backups. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of with you. I think you're saying just why the heck not? This guy is literally a walking bucket hat. No, he is a walking bucket.
Right.
So why not?
Yeah, we'll see. Random notes from this one. How about that game delay we had? where Bam, hanging on the rim, a little too long. He did a second hang on it while he was up there on that putback dunk attempt and bent the rim and was, off kilter. Was it who tried to bring it back? Was it Jokic?
Jokic, yeah.
Yeah, Jokic.
He looked at it.
His weight, trying to get it back down.
Yeah.
But then, out come the ladders. Up go the guys in the suits. I guess it didn't take all that long. I couldn't really tell. We were having too much fun on playback, just chopping it up. But, this is the third game this year that the Nuggets have been involved in this type of incident.
Yeah, usually.
How weird is that?
Both of the first games were at home, right?
Yeah.
Both in Denver.
Yeah.
I think we ridiculed the employee in Denver for just being in a hat and sweats. I don't know which I like better. A suit guy come helping out?
I wouldn't want to be going up and down a ladder in a suit. I mean, I sort of felt bad for the guy.
Yeah.
But they got it taken care of pretty quickly.
Yeah, it felt fast.
Sort of.
I think while we were watching playback, somebody in the stream said 8 minutes.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, and then there was the incident with this woman. Did we ever find out what happened? No. I didn't see a single thing in my reading.
Somebody wheelchaired off.
Yeah. Was it... Yeah, did they pass out? Did they fall? Were they just drunk? Were they feeling well? That was weird.
She seemed to be with it when she was in the wheelchair. But, that was... Okay. Yeah, that was an up and down 8 minutes.
Yeah. We were like, who's this going to help?
Yeah.
We were trying to figure that out. It's is it good for... Yeah, we didn't know. You never know with that. You just know it's going to be a story until it's not.
Yes.
If a team rips off a run, oh, wow. That delay helped them. And there wasn't really anything from that.
Yeah, these
Nuggets continued to play well.
Exactly. They're locked in.
Yeah. Nuggets are the 37th team in NBA history to own a 3-1 series lead in the finals. Only one of those previous 36 teams went on to lose the finals. Everybody knows who they are. 2016 Golden State Warriors with the Cavs coming back. But yeah, you got to be, I guess, just a diehard Miami Heat fan to think they're coming back because the Nuggets just look like the clearly better team. And they haven't even played all that great in some of these games and still pull out the victories. But Malone pointed out the defense last night. I mean, that was the thing. Flowers to AG, flowers to Bruce Brown. But it's the defense that's doing a great job, taking away the three-pointers. Obviously, showing up the defensive glass. They're just playing great. They're all committed to that. And they are definitely holding themselves, throughout this postseason run. If we're being honest, just with this team that knows we're better than all these teams if we just play our game, and they don't there's no the highs. Highs and lows don't really exist with this team. It feels like they're just very composed, and that's probably I guess we saw a little emotion from Jokic when he did a weird little celebration on the sideline after one of those threes during the run when he was off.
For the
most part, they've been pretty even keeled.
Yeah, seeing Jokic extremely pumped, very rare. It's never for himself. It's always when a teammate bangs one home. As he says, what's the line? A pass makes two people happy, or an assist makes two people happy. Yes. Deep Thoughts. Check out our video. We did a Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy video about Nikola Jokic's quotes, because he's full of them, and he was full of life only when somebody else scores. But as you said, they're steady. It's hard not to compare to the Tim Duncan Spurs. You are led by a very steady guy in Jokic who doesn't get too high and too low. And here they are, go through 4 rounds, potentially here without an elimination game. I mean, yeah, they are ridiculously steady. Home court helps. A nice home court advantage in the finals versus a team that didn't have a better record than them. Again, it broke pretty nicely that the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference didn't get to the finals because they all had a better record than the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, but and a part of that is because Denver Nuggets took their foot off the gas at the end of the regular season.
And we all said, what is this? What is this blip?
Right.
Are they actually, taking some time off? Are they riding their horses off into the sunset? But no. Yeah, they feel great, and Michael Malone is on this team and pushing the right buttons. You said the defense. That was his pregame speech.
Yeah.
He said no one's giving our defense credit. It's like he had a playbook. First game, we got to come out here and win. The game number 3, he said to Jeff Green, how many finals you've been in, just trying to imply that you don't get here every time. And then this time it was the defense. And so all 3 wins, he's had a line and it's worked. And it's not the sexy thing to talk about. Defense ain't the sexy thing to talk about, but that's how they win for sure. 8 of 25, as you said, from the 3-point line. I can't remember, for the first time in the series, I think, a lot of open threes. Usually there are some open threes that they were clanking.
Yeah.
And this one,
they felt attached.
they felt ready.
Nothing felt easy for the Miami Heat when they scored.
Agreed.
We had the Grift King, Kyle Lowry doing his best. Getting to the line, grabbing and doing all his things, and selling some contact. But it just felt like a slog.
Yeah.
And that's credit to the Nuggets defense, no doubt. So do you think this is ending on Monday night?
Yes.
Do you think this is over? I know you had the Nuggets in 5, so why wouldn't you continue with your prediction? But you think they'll take care of business?
It feels that
Wouldn't
way.
it be a very Miami Heat thing to win?
Got them right where they want them.
Right when we say they're done, it's over.
Yeah.
Take that final nail, put it in the coffin, and they pop up like the Undertaker? No, I'm with you. It feels like it's a wrap.
Again, we're shooting game for their best two players in this game, so you expect they bounce back. Jamal Murray had his best game in Game 3 after a Game 2 for him. Only 18 points in Game 2. You'd expect him to bounce back. And same with Jokic. Maybe that ankle injury is a problem. Just feels like, they're stacked with talent, and the Heat are a little gassed. And how can you pick the Heat, really?
You only have to pray, I think, because we keep saying, well, Jimmy's got to have a big Jimmy game, and Bam's got to play better, and these guys have been asked to do a lot. And for the most part, I think Jimmy's played okay. He has not been elite. Same with Bam. He's been good, maybe not great, but the Heat are only going to win Game 5 if 1, 2, or 3 of their guys, their shooters, catch fire. They need Strus to hit a bunch of threes. They need Gabe to hit a bunch of threes, or Lowry, or Duncan Robinson, or Caleb Martin. They have 5 or 6 guys. I mean, maybe Tyler Hero, who knows? They need one of those, 2 of those guys to just have those games where they hit 3, 4, 5, whatever, from deep, because they need those points. They need the math in their favor from deep. And then maybe they can get it back to Miami. But you wouldn't bet on that right now. It wouldn't at all. But maybe you do out there. I don't know. Yeah,
and Spoelstra's pulling out every sort of move. Jimmy Butler always plays the first 12 minutes. And in this game, he sat after about 7 minutes and 20 seconds. So he could come back before the first quarter ended for the first time in this series and play against the bench unit a little bit more. And it worked. He hit, what was it, 5 points? No, it was 7. Right before the end of the first quarter, got that little run going to actually give the Heat the lead going into the second quarter. And then he had to play 45 minutes for the first time. They're gassing him. I mean, they're exhausting every single option here. And that other team is just too good.
My only other stat from last night, slow start to this game. Miami led 21-20. Yeah, Miami was up at the end of the first quarter somehow. 41 combined points, the fewest in the first quarter since Game 4 of the Raptors-Warriors series in 2019, which only had 40 points in that Game 4. So low scoring affair there in the first quarter. Picked up as it went on a little bit, but the first 6 minutes of that game were rough.
There was maybe some nervousness.
Maybe.
That was the Serge Ibaka game, right, in Game 4?
I think so, yeah.
The second half where he was scorching hot.
Perfect in the third quarter.
Finished with 21 that we had forgotten about until you went through all those unheralded performances on Friday's show.
Does Bruce Brown suddenly make that list? We had Christian Brown in Game 3. Bruce Brown, how many minutes did he end up playing last night? Obviously had 21 points, 11 in the fourth.
Yeah, it's getting overshadowed because of Aaron Gordon's performance, because we want to talk about in order, Jokic, Murray, and then somebody else. Oh, Gordon had 27? That's good, but... Yeah, 21 points in 29 minutes. And we didn't even mention...
29 minutes. He just missed the arbitrary cutoff I had of 28 minutes.
Oh, okay. So he's not going to make this arbitrary list.
No.
And we didn't even say MPJ's name at all. Who played well. He missed some, obviously. The shot's just weird. He doesn't have his shot. He's 4 of 10 in this game.
That's great for him.
Yeah.
Right now. But you're right. He missed some more bunnies. No threes. He did have a dunk. Did get a couple inside around the rim, but he was better defensively. He wasn't being completely taken off the floor on that end. I thought he was at least like everybody for the Nuggets. Malone got through to them. Let's go take both of these here in Miami.
And he passed.
Do it defense. And he did pass. That was the most I've seen him pass all season.
Exactly.
If 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, the bad stat would be if he was 5 of 15, but he was able to just not get selfish, not get ahead of himself, not try and shoot himself out of the slump, and he moved the ball. If there was a pass column in the box score, I think this would probably be his highest number, even though he didn't play a lot of the games here in the finals because he didn't force it.
I will admit, though, because we said it all postseason long, especially me and Trey, like we had Michael Porter Jr. as the ultimate X factor to the Nuggets championship, right? If he plays well, they could do this. If he doesn't, probably not. And he played really well during the entire postseason run until the finals. But he's been horrible, and they're up 3-1.
Didn't need him.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where he's like even getting taken off the floor at times. So it's crazy. Just the depth of this squad, and everybody that is playing for the most part is contributing outside of him struggling with the shot. And even KCP played better last night, hitting a couple shots off the top of my head. I think he had a couple threes.
He did, yeah.
Anything else from Game 4 last night?
No, it was first shot, I think, of Nikola Jokic's wife, though. I'll add that in. I don't think we've ever seen her in the seats. I think it was on his deep three that he hit. Camera panned to her. Huge clap. Behind every man is a strong woman, and she was there. You could see the ferocity. She's intense.
She's very intense.
Yes, she wants these W's, even though I'm sure, like Jokic, she doesn't want the spotlight. She probably hates that anybody would ever talk about her or that they showed her in the crowd. But I don't think she usually sits.
Well, she's generally there.
But
they just don't show her.
Yeah, maybe they just don't show her.
I mean, there were people on playback. I couldn't tell if people were kidding or not, but I don't think they were. Like, some people were like, Jokic is married?
Right.
Jokic has a kid?
Yeah.
We were talking about it. Like, people were like, what?
Well, Jimmy Butler talked about his kid, too. He's done a good job of keeping that on the down low.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Too many dads. Anything else, my man?
No, it was great.
Well, let's take a break. And when we come back, a bunch of NBA news, so don't go anywhere.
In the NBA, it's the postseason, but in the world, it's wedding season. And between the flights, the hotels, and the gifts, it can get pretty pricey. But looking sharp all wedding season shouldn't be expensive. With a custom-fitted suit from Indochino, you'll create priceless memories without costing a fortune. But it's not just the fit that's custom with Indochino. You get to customize every detail of your suit, shirt, or dinner jacket. And they come in a range of colors, from a more traditional black and gray to something more adventurous, like burgundy or olive, or this wild, bright orange linen suit I saw in Indochino this morning.
Ooh.
I mean, it looks very Lloyd Christmas. I'll say that.
Okay.
But I would love the chance to try and pull it off.
And Miami would be the place to wear it.
Does Indochino do rush orders?
Sure.
1 hour rush orders? I'll come and stop by and grab one. Because every suit is made to your exact measurements and details, so you can create a suit that fits you and your style perfectly, with options for fabrics, lapel shape, custom monograms, statement linings, and more. They're always adding new pieces and options, so you can stay on trend and in style. RSVP knowing you've got the perfect look all wedding season long from Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code NODUNKS to get 10% off any purchase of $399 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com. Promo code NODUNKS.
As the weather gets warmer, and that for sure is happening here in the South, Bombas is inviting you to get outside and find your outer piece in socks, underwear, and t-shirts you can effortlessly move and relax in all season long. Bombas makes thoughtfully designed, better basics that keep you feeling your best. On the trail, at the park, chilling in your own backyard, chilling in your neighbor's backyard. Pool party was a huge success over the weekend, guys. Saw some fire dancers, or twirlers, as I always do this when I talk about people with fire in their hands. Every item is seamless, tagless, and effortlessly soft. Their no-show socks, personal favorite of mine. They're made with breathable yarns for a barely there feel, plus silicone grips and a contour design to prevent slipping down or sliding around. They keep my feet cool and comfortable, and I suffer from hot foot syndrome.
HFS.
Oh yes. My dogs, they get hot. Not in these socks. Check this out. Bombas. 100% happiness guarantee means you're covered for life. Reach out anytime to their happiness team for easy returns, exchanges, or replacements. That'd be a fun sort of title to put on a resume. What do? I'm part of the happiness team at Bombas.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. Also, socks, underwear, and t-shirts They are the number 1, 2, and 3 most requested items in homeless shelters. So that's why for every comfy item you purchase, Bombas donates another comfy item to someone in need. Love that. So far, Bombas has donated over 100 million items, and each purchase adds to that impact. So go to bombas.com/nodunks and use the code NODUNKS, all one word, for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/nodunks. Use the code NODUNKS at checkout. Bombas.com/nodunks. Code NODUNKS. Very, very simple. All right, here in the Classic Factory on a weekend. Thanks to everybody for joining us live on YouTube. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We've talked about Game 4 of the NBA Finals. We'll talk more about Game 5 on Monday's pod. But we do have some NBA news. We've got ourselves a trade involving absolutely not a single player. But according to Woj, the Denver Nuggets have acquired a 2024 first and second round pick and a 2023 second round pick in a deal with the OKC Thunder for a protected 2029 first round pick. Way in the future, Tess. What do you think about this? These picks being traded between the Nugs, who are, in the NBA Finals, and the Thunder.
Yeah, that was the first shocking thing. They're in the finals.
People were like, can you do this?
Yeah.
Is this legal?
You can. It is.
It's weird. It's rare.
The trade deadline happens in February.
Yeah.
But I guess the deadline stops at some point. Mm-hmm. It ends. Because the draft day usually is when the deals happen. You want me to take this one? Or you did a great job yesterday on playback of breaking this down.
Well, I think you can see what both teams are doing
absolutely.
Here, which is why this trade makes sense. From the Nuggets side of things, they are getting the least favorable of OKC's first-round pick in the 2024 draft. They'll have the 37th pick and the 40th pick in this year's draft. And so they're doing this because they are hoping to get, low-cost contracts by finding some guys in the draft that they can add to their team to help navigate their, very expensive squad, the luxury tax with Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. And those three guys making a ton of money. Mm-hmm. So you're going to need, especially with the second apron and how you'll be penalized and how tough it'll be to add, guys like vets to your squad and stuff like that. You need to hit these draft picks. It's going to become very, very important. So a couple more bites at the apple, right?
That's it.
From OKC side of things, they got 1 million of these. So it's like, space them out. Do you need 10 first round picks, it feels like, in one particular draft? No. So, who knows what's happening in 2029? Will we even be here, Tess? I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, get dark, but way we're going, the smoke and
okay,
world,
just overall.
Yeah.
Or at this desk, I thought you meant at first.
God, I hope so. If we are alive, we'll be at this desk. But the Thunder own...
Bury me at this desk.
The Thunder own 15 first-round picks now through the 2029 draft. So they're just, like, spacing them out. I don't know what the protection is on this 2029 first-round pick.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Top 5?
Yeah, I thought it was top 5 for some reason, but
okay.
I could
didn't
be
see that, but...
I could be incorrect about that.
Because OKC still owns Denver's top 5 protected 2027 first-round pick.
Yes.
Because of the JaMychal Green trade. So maybe you're thinking that with the top 5.
No, well, I know that the Nuggets also traded away their first-round pick in 2025 to the Orlando Magic for Aaron Gordon.
Right, okay.
But that may not convey that year because there's some sort of line on that says it's top 5. Anyways, there's protections on that too, and if it's not conveyed that year, then it goes to 2026, and then that Thunder one gets bumped. Anyway,
right.
Yeah, you're right about the Nuggets just trying to hit and get somebody on the cheap, essentially, because they're paying so much to their top 3, which doesn't include Aaron Gordon, who... Great extension that he signed, 4 for $92. He is their 4th highest paid player, and then KCP. So yeah, they're just trying to hit.
Can they keep Bruce Brown is the real question.
Yeah, it's up to Bruce Brown, really.
It's up to Bruce Brown because he can make more money.
He'll make more money somewhere else.
But does he want to try and run it back and maybe build a little dynasty here in Denver?
Yeah, and
it's up to him.
Yeah, he's got a player option for 6.8. He could opt out of that. Get a raise, not a huge raise, and then in the 2024-25 season make more with the Denver Nuggets. He's sort of maybe take a little less to maybe make more later. if he wants to stick with the team.
Or he could opt out, which we think he will anyway, and then make a whole lot more money.
Hell a lot more money because the Nuggets are unable to pay him. So yeah, Sam Presti just taking calculated risk that the Nuggets will be worse, 6 years from now, and balancing their draft capital. It's pretty cool to have the foresight to say 2029, I want this happening. That's just balancing out every pick that he has in the cupboard. So
yeah, and I think it was Brian Windhorst I heard on a mini podcast this morning, or that they did late last night, saying this to Windhorst, sort of says that the Nuggets are like, oh yeah, we're running this back next year, or we like our chances to continue to build this team we have, this squad, and we need to do, like I said, we need to find your Christian Browns, and they got Watson there, they're pretty high on. Like you gotta keep replenishing those young guys and these like second round picks and stuff like that. Just cheap contracts that hopefully guys can still contribute when they're asked to, like we saw Brown did in Game 3. So good little trade there, I think.
Ishmael Smith has played for 13 teams, the most in NBA history. Going to get an NBA title here, but I think he's going to be playing for a 14th next year just because of how much he makes. $4.7 million. They got to work around the edges here and find somebody cheaper. So he's going to take that mark in NBA history to another team, I think. He's pretty wild. He's going to play on another team, I assume anyway.
DeAndre Jordan's going to have a ring before Chris Paul. How do you feel about that? All right. Our next piece of news here. Earlier this week, Damian Lillard appeared on a podcast talking about the Heat and Nets as a possible trade destination. That prompted an intense discussion on ESPN's Get Up program, featuring McCollum talking at length about the possibilities of a Dame move and why this summer's rumors seemed more intense than past years. And then later, CJ, doing the car wash, on First Take, he dropped the money headline here. Quote, CJ McCollum, "The market will dictate what happens here, ... If I was a betting man, I would say this is the last that we've seen of him in Portland, him being Damian Lillard," end quote. What do you think of Dame's buddy here, CJ, former teammate, chiming in with his 2 cents?
I thought this would make bigger headlines. If I was a bet man, I'd say the impressions on this should have been higher. His teammate saying...
A former teammate, yeah.
Yes. Teammate for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
Saying, I think he's done with the Blazers. That's my guess. Not that he would ask out. But as we talked about earlier this week when Dame did an interview with Brian Custer, and he said, oh, those opportunities look pretty good. I still want to be with Portland, but those other opportunities, I'd love to play in Miami. Yeah, I'd love to play in Brooklyn, those specific 2 scenarios.
Because of Bam and Mikal Bridges?
Because of friends.
His dogs.
His dogs won a gold with Bam. And did he win a gold with Bam? He played with him.
Sounds right.
Internationally.
Yeah.
They always get convoluted. Yesterday, we had JD on the playback saying that his son was playing FIBA and not FIFA, and got me all confused. I was like, I get confused with the FIBA World Cup and the Olympics.
Yeah, but a basketball guy, it just slipped out. FIBA.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think there's a FIBA game.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't stayed up to date on my video games, but I'm pretty sure he meant FIFA. Yeah.
FIFA.
And I loved how you went off playback, because I do this as well, but you're still lurking in the chat. Like, you're off video, but you're still back there. Because he just turned the camera off, and then we started saying FIBA. There's a FIBA game?
Yeah.
He was in career mode in FIBA. I'm also a basketball guy, but FIFA is a far better game than FIBA, if there is a FIBA game.
there isn't.
Probably not. FIFA's a good game, but Dame is pretty open to a move, I'd say. I feel it's feeling more and more Kevin Garnett like.
Right, you've said
where
that, yeah.
Where we're like, we're at the threshold here, and it might be the threshold for Joe Cronin and the Blazers front office too. Playing incredible, but how many more incredible years are you going to get where you get the trade value that you could get right this second? I guess I said the same thing last year.
I know.
Probably the year before, but he had an incredible year.
Yeah, so Kevin O'Connor, he says, his sources say Portland's interest in building around Lillard is genuine. So they are continuing to tell us that, at least, or at least the sources are telling that to guys like KOC. Front office, though, is exploring deals for the number 3 pick, and it's also open to moving Anthony Simons' tasks. And so that immediately has everybody going, can you get, a Jaylen Brown? Can you get a Siakam? Could you get a Mikal Bridges? Could you get a player of that caliber for that type of package. 3 Simons and whatever else it would take to bring like a star player back. So we'll see. I mean, we it's funny because this is the most it feels like Dame has sort of not hinted at, but at least talked about going to these other destinations for reasons, but then continues to say he wants to be there, and it feels like Portland doesn't want him to go anywhere. But if that's the case, then they got to do something. Like as currently constructed, I don't think adding either Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson to the Blazers roster as it is going to do anything next year, right? They're not going to be competing for a championship.
No.
Well, okay, so that means something has to be done if you're keeping Dame and you're going that way. And what do they have? Well, they have the number 3 pick, and Simon's a very promising young player that scores a lot and sort of plays a similar position to Dame. Yeah.
It's silly season, baby, and I guess trades are allowed now, so let's start talking about them. I can't wait.
Oh, we got all summer, man.
Well, yeah, well, I think every day this, around from the draft to free agency, we should be talking about this stuff because it's interesting. Dame to Brooklyn, as he implied, to go play with Mikal Bridges. Do they have enough in return? I don't know. I just don't see Brooklyn trading Mikal Bridges.
I don't either.
So why? Why would that happen? You mentioned we've all talked about the Miami scenario. Mm-hmm. What would Miami give up for Dame?
How about Bam? He's a dog.
He's a dog, though. They would literally be like 6'4" and under.
Yeah, I know.
And then if you don't trade Bam, if you play with Jimmy and Bam, Tyler Hero's the biggest name.
Is that really moving the needle?
Is that moving the needle? Pat Riley would have to work something very creative to make that happen, I would say, amongst those two teams.
OG or Siakam, it starts to make some sense to me from the Blazers side of things, right? And then from the Raptors side of things, like if they're infatuated with a guard that can score, reports say Van Vliet and Gary Trent Jr. are gone. So they're going to need some guards. Mm-hmm. You get a young, promising one in Simons. I know people are very high on him or very low on him. It feels like he's a polarizing player, still very young. But maybe something there.
And then, yeah. I feel you. I feel you with that one. And the Jaylen Brown scenario, just to balance out the team a little bit more, it sounds crazy. But if Jaylen Brown was on the table last year for a potential Kevin Durant deal, now he's 1 year closer to making that max deal, like on the doorstep of making that max deal. I mean, it's a lot to give up, but that would probably be the best player that the Blazers could get.
And we know
no disrespect to OG.
You could just do Damian Lillard for Jaylen Brown. We could just swap stars, but Dame doesn't want to play in Boston.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't.
the one team he seems to have admitted.
Yeah, and Jason Tatum commented on that. It's like, oh, yeah, just can't be more clear, buddy. You don't want to play in Boston.
We get it, man. We'll see. We'll be talking about it all summer long until nothing happens, and he's just there. All right, Golden State Warriors, they have an uncertain offseason. Obviously, Bob Myers, their front office head honcho, he's gone. They got this looming second luxury tax apron coming up for everybody. But the franchise appears committed to maximizing the title window here around Steph Curry, and they are expected to remain as competitive as possible. This is from Tim Kawakami at The Athletic, obviously plugged in with the Warriors. Quote, I think the most likely scenario is that the Warriors keep most of this together for at least one more season. That's what Curry wants. His opinion sort of matters. End quote there from Kawakami at The Athletic. This was part of a mailbag that Tim did, and the question was the direction of the Warriors. And there being a lot of talk about trading Poole or Wiggins or Kuminga for another sort of aging star, let's say, to push for one more title. But couldn't they go the other direction and see you later, Dre, see you later, maybe Clay, and sort of try and stay viable over a longer period? Mm-hmm. But that was him answering to that was Tim's answer to this, that he thinks because of Curry mainly, like, we're going to bring the band back together here.
And the band means Clay playing beside him, and it's likely Draymond.
Yeah, that's what it means.
It's what it means, for sure. I just want to know what the contract is with the Draymond scenario. But yeah, it's all lining up for a last dance, I think, because Clay is off the books at the end of next season, the 23-24 season.
So Steve Kerr and Clay will be entering contract years.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's It's Phil Jackson-esque, like Kerr's mentor, one of his mentors, I guess. So it kind of feels like it's all lining up. We're questioning, I think we all were questioning, the Bob Myers leaving. Does that mean the end of this team?
Right.
But I don't know. Last year kind of felt like the last dance, but that was coming off a championship. Now this is the last dance. I think they're going back one more time. But the Draymond question is huge for me because that's the only guy they really have to sign. But it really felt like with Bob Myers leaving, like that was the first piece to this thing dismantling. You think they're coming back for one more?
I think they probably will, but as currently constructed, I don't have a lot of faith in them to win another title. Like with the age really showing for your Draymonds and your Clays, unless, Fountain of Youth suddenly is installed there in the Bay. I don't like, because they've tried to do the whole, we got the young guys and we're gonna blend them into obviously our champion guys, and they've done a poor job of that.
It hasn't worked out far, but they tried that. They got rid of Wiseman, and they didn't get to this next evolution of their team until like 20 games into the season. Then they went and got back Gary Payton II. Wiggins was gone for a long time.
Wiggins was gone. That is a big part of this equation. That is fair.
Can Kuminga grow a little bit? Moody has shown he's solid. I'm buying it.
Oh, there goes that light.
That light is Moody for sure.
That light doesn't want to work on a weekend. Also, they could move Jordan Poole. I mean, that could be a piece that you actually trade. His value probably went down quite a bit during this postseason.
If you don't want to do the two timelines.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just to get another piece to really push for a title here, if this is what they're talking about doing here. And when you got Curry on your team, you are in the running. That's the honest truth.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'll get over there. JD's fixing it right now. It's all right. You can deal with us in the little bit of the dark here. Final one here, Tass.
Yeah, I thought this one was important. You want to talk
You
about
were really
old
interested
guys.
about this one, so I'm interested to hear your take, because I wasn't even going to put it in. But Bucks forward Khris Middleton, he underwent successful surgery on his right knee shortly after the playoffs to address an issue that plagued him during the past season. Middleton is expected to fully recover, should be back on the court come July. So it was not a major surgery here. Per the Athletic sources, cleanup procedure to his right knee was planned and scheduled prior to the season coming to a close. Mm-hmm. So yeah, why did you want this one in here? Talk Middleton a little bit to me.
Well, this is a guy who's the second best player on a championship team 2 years ago. He's got a $40 million option, over a $40 million option coming up. He just had another surgery coming off a season where he was injured. He was in all the meetings with Giannis Antetokounmpo when they were courting a head coach and Adrian Griffin. He was part of that, so he's seemingly part of the future there. But he's in his 30s, another surgery. He's getting older. Brook Lopez, really old. He's a free agent. This team has just gotten older real quick. And they were old last year when they had Drew, Middleton, and Brook Lopez, three starters in their 30s. I guess we're talking about the Warriors in a similar way, besides Giannis Antetokounmpo. But this team wants to win a championship right now. And I just wonder how healthy Khris Middleton's going to be. I know this was a planned surgery, but anytime you go in, it's not a good sign. And I saw Nate Robinson, former NBA player, say this guy could be done.
Whoa.
Does that mean anything? Does Nate Robinson know something? Maybe yes, maybe no. But he is obviously part of the future here because he was in all those meetings with Adrian Griffin. This is their number 2 guy. This guy is really, really important.
Yeah.
And he couldn't be himself in the playoffs. And that's why they got bounced. If he was excellent, maybe it's a different scenario. But he wasn't able to get to that level. This is Giannis' prime. And this is his number 2 guy. And he was key in winning the title. So if he's not anywhere close to where he was, if Nate Robinson is somewhat right even, this is bad news bears for Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks.
Yeah, well, what did Middleton do with this player option, like you said? $40.4 million for the 23-24 season, so next season. And he needs to make a decision on that option by June 21st, so like less than 2 weeks here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like, is he opting out, signing a different deal to stay with the Bucks? Is he going somewhere else? It feels unlikely, or is he just going to try and just take that totally fair paycheck of $40 million and have a better season? Because I had forgotten, this guy had wrist surgery last offseason, missed a bunch of time at the start of the season, comes back, tries to get back in game shape, and then hurts the knee and missed another, basically 18, 19, 20 games, whatever it was. So, yeah, really rough year for him. He only ended up playing like 30 or so games. But maybe he just, keeps that final year of that contract and tries to build back up his value. He is 31, is that right? So
Right.
But he's a good player.
Oh, he's a very good player. But he didn't have a good season last season.
No.
I mean, his numbers are fine, but he wasn't able to play enough.
No,
really.
Exactly. So. All right, that's our NBA news roundup. We'll take one more break. Got the lights back on. That's great. Good job, JD. And I've got a couple tweets of the night for you. Don't go anywhere.
If you've been looking for a coffee alternative or just a tasty, healthy drink, Mudwater could be for you. First thing I said when I opened the package was, this smells great. Then I said, why does it look like that? So I jumped in and made some mud. Mudwater is a coffee alternative that's brown in color because of its ingredients. It contains adaptogenic mushrooms and Ayurvedic herbs. My favorite ingredients are the cacao and chai because they make both a flavorful cup and provide just that hint of caffeine. With only a fraction of caffeine as a cup of coffee, you get energy without the jitters or crash of coffee. I take it with a little honey. Tastes like a yummy cup of tea to me. Mudwater also contains lion's mane to support focus, cordyceps to help support physical performance, chaga and reishi to support your immune system, and cinnamon for antioxidants. Mud is Whole30 approved, 100% USDA organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher certified. To get 15% off, go to mudwater.com/nodunks. That's MUDWTR.com/nodunks to support the show and use code NODUNKS for 15% off.
I'm here from downtown. I'm here on a mission of mercy. Put that coffee down, Shelley. Coffee is for closers. Okay, good. A sale. Ooh, another one. Shelley, haha, you're on fire! And scene. That's what it would sound like if the guys from Glengarry Glen Ross set up Shopify for their business. Can you imagine? The movie would be 5 minutes long. Forget the Glengarry leads, Shelley, and go get that operation for your daughter. Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Whether you're selling old-timey suspenders or sets of steak knives, Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. You can customize your online store to your style, connect with new customers and drive growth, and even maintain the relationships that keep them coming back no matter how big you want to grow. Once you start selling, Shopify makes getting paid simple by instantly accepting every type of payment. Shopify grows with your business, no matter how far or big you grow. Thanks to an endless list of integrations and third-party apps, anything you can think of, from on-demand printing to accounting to chatbots, everything you need to revolutionize your business. You want marketing made simple? Shopify removes the guesswork with built-in tools that help you create, execute, and analyze your online marketing campaigns. Running a growing business means getting the insights you need wherever you are. With Shopify's single dashboard, you can manage orders, shipping, and payments from anywhere. Sign up for a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/nodunks, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/nodunks to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/nodunks.
Well, JD, you might have to come back and unplug that light because people were enjoying the mood lighting.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, maybe we're too bright.
We want an after dark type scenario?
That's right.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I hear what they're saying. It's a bright yet dark set. I don't know what to do. I'm not a lighting director.
It's fine. What is going on with that light, though? It's been causing us some problems over the last couple of weeks.
I am also not an electrician
or
an engineer. But that is my role here.
You do it all, man. You do it all, including playing the sting for Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Okay, I got a few tweets for you. First one, from Bleacher Report, Luka looking lean. Photo of Luka Doncic. Potentially looking lean? I mean, okay, sure. Looks great. Looks like an athlete to me. But my favorite part of this was our guy, Alex Wong, at Steven_LeBron. Ben Simmons working out. Dame says he wants to win in Portland. Luka is looking lean. The official start of the NBA offseason is near. That's right. Big facts there. We already talked about Dame. Wants to stay in Portland. Does he? Probably. This Luka photo. And I know you saw the Ben Simmons photo, him working out in the gym. Getting his sweat on, shirt off, looking great.
I got to be 100% honest. I didn't see that photo.
Which one?
The Ben.
You're a lucky man. Because I did.
I saw one a few weeks ago. I'm always seeing them.
Yeah, man, he's working out.
He was working on his back. Was that the one?
Oh, I saw him playing basketball. Like it was an action shot. He's in the gym.
That's different.
Yeah.
I saw him working out on the what was he? Oh, he was doing rear delt work or whatever. He was pulling back muscles, whatever.
That's even
he was
worse.
doing. Yeah. Well,
Who cares?
he's trying to improve his back. Had back problems.
Show me a photo of him practicing free throws.
What was he doing
Or
in
a
this
video.
what was he-
Who gives a shit? He's an athlete. He looks
I know.
chiseled. Of course he's in the gym.
Oh, he hurt his back. What was he doing in this workout? You made the tweet.
I don't know, he's driving. What do you mean? He's like dribbling the ball, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
But this Luka thing, this is just as much bullshit. What are people talking about?
He took a shower. His hair is wet.
I'm like,
So he looks-
this is what he looks like. What
he
are
looks
they
wet.
talking about? I don't get this. And we did this stuff last year, too. Oh, the league ain't ready for Luka looking lean. He was in great shape. Remember those photos?
Well, he played in FIBA,
I know.
right, JD? He was in the video game.
Yeah, he was
Wasn't
playing-
it FIFA?
No,
Sorry.
no. That was the summer before. He was only playing FIFA, and apparently he was fat.
He's
But
fat.
then he was
Hey,
playing
hey.
actual FIBA.
That's F is for
like-
fat.
Anyway, Stephen LeBron is right. Those three things, man.
He looked all
every
right.
summer.
He looked all right.
Yes, I agree. He looked like that all season long. He just wasn't wearing a Mavericks jersey. It's so weird.
I don't know. He looked pretty svelte
Oh,
in the
it's
waistline.
Insane. It's insane. What are you guys talking about? Also,
it happens every year. Harden, the same thing. Harden
I know. I
from
know.
skinny to obese in 5 hours.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's Texas jerseys, or they add 25 pounds or
yeah,
something.
everybody knows that. But you're right. Like, you could take a photo of any one of us. You could look very skinny. Oh, wow. Looking ripped
Yeah.
or looking svelte. And then you could take a photo from a different angle or whatever. You're like, whoa. Looking a little. What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Bloated. So, yeah, anyway. Okay.
Perfectly placed workout mat right behind him, too. You just notice that?
I didn't see
He was on the mat
Okay.
doing the
So
little
he's doing
abdominals.
Oh, is he doing yoga? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
The final tweet of the night.
Oh, okay. We got another one.
Yeah, it's from one of my favorites on Twitter and in real life. The Kid Mero. All right. Mero tweeted in all caps locks, as he does. Nah, the Zion shit is crazy. It's been weeks already. Also, do y'all remember how horny you were at 20? Imagine being that horny, and instead of privately making sorry, I can't even get it out. And instead of privately making beef stroking off in front of your laptop, this is an incredible line. You could hop in the DMs of the same people you making hot salami to. That is the iconic Kid Mero there, tweeting about the story that everyone wants us to address, Tass, and that is the Zion Williamson story of the last week or so. Do you have any thoughts? Because I love that tweet.
Yeah, that's my number one thought. I had never heard that term before.
Making beef stroking off in front of your laptop.
I grew up with the internet. I grew up with a laptop in front of me. I thought I had heard every single
That's true.
slang, euphemism. That came out of nowhere. Beef stroking off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
he's a home-
interesting. You can slide into your DMs, and everybody in the NBA has the capacity to make those dreams come true very quickly.
Right,
so,
right, yes,
interesting stuff. I don't have anything on that.
Let me ask you this: how much of a deep
can't.
dive did you do on the Zion story? Or
I
you just
did
know the basics?
as much as I did for the baby Gronk. I watched I watched one video, somebody who decided to do a report on it.
Right.
The old Twitter report points up. This is the tweet. That is the person. This is the tweet. So that's all I did. How much did you do?
I definitely read way too many tweets from, is her name Mariah Mills, the woman that was putting him on blast, because Zion announces that he's having a baby with
Congratulations.
his, I guess now partner, at least the baby's mama, and then this other woman goes nuts on Twitter with a lot of details of their, relationship, whatever you want to call it, and the idea that he could slide in the DMs instead of making beef stroking off. And just do it in real life. I mean, look, he's got himself in some shit here, but he's a horny 20-year-old.
It's not 20.
Well, he's okay. You know what? He's a horny young guy with millions of dollars.
Still horny at 22.
But I guess he's having a baby. Congrats?
Yes.
Question mark?
Yes.
Period.
Congrats.
Period.
Yeah. Congrats. Period. Listen, we've done enough. We've done enough on this. I said Nate Robinson knows Khris Middleton's knee history. That's a stretch. This also, we don't know anything.
No.
Anyway, oh man, it sucks.
Sounds like Zion's got himself in some mud water. Is a comment from Sarah in the stream team. Fascinating.
She is a copywriter.
Great stuff
Sarah?
from the Kid Marrow.
That's good.
And from Alex Wong and Bleacher Report for showing us Luka looking exactly like he always looks. But he's looking lean.
I thought he looked good.
Again, I don't understand. You thought why aren't you saying he looks good during the entire regular season? This is the part I don't get.
JD's right. Those jerseys add 15 pounds.
Okay, maybe that's it. All right, guys. Those are the tweets of the night. That's it for us here on a Saturday. Thanks for joining us live. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll be back on Monday here from the Classic Factory at 10 a.m. Eastern. Get you ready for Game 5. And then later on Monday night, you know it, we're on playback again. Second screen experience for everybody here in the States. International League Pass users, you're watching the game with us. We have had so much fun during these. Had a lot of people tuning in, so come join us here in the factory at 10 o'clock on Monday morning, and then later at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday night to watch the Denver Nuggets win the NBA championship. Ooh, there's your bulletin board material, Spo. What's that? What are you doing? Tying a bow?
Yeah, wrapped up that gift.
There you go.
Put a bow on it.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Until Monday. Clipper Bro!
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, I haven't wrapped a present in years. Now that I remember, I was tying a bow.
I didn't know what you were doing. You were like
tying a bow. Usually I throw it in a bag, tissue paper, carry it. I'm gonna go home and wrap a gift.
You got somebody's birthday coming up?
Every day is a gift with my wife. I should give her a gift.
Good
What
save.
about you guys?
Good save.
Yeah.
What about you guys? I guess I gotta go wrap a gift down for Norton.
I'm waiting. I'm getting a gift next week. It's Father's Day, man.
Oh yeah, 8 days
many
from
dads.
Father's
I'm
Day.
dropping
Too many
hints.
dads.
Too
Ain't
many
Zion?
dads.
There's too many
exactly.
dads, man. All right. Embrace the weekend, people.
Oops. Hey, Clipper Bro.